Alright, gonna do a quick and dirty video tutorial on setup of an overlay for OBS for my friends over at RoF. Alright, here we go. This is what we're gonna kind of shoot for. We got our game, our overlay, and our chat going on here. And then also we'll have a follow alert going off here.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
There you go. The Emperor has been expecting me. So, we are going to copy this main screen. I'll touch on a little more about these other screens too, something you might want to do later on. Let's go ahead and create a new one. Let's see, new main. Alright, so first things first, what we want to do is go ahead and get all the files that we need. Go in here to the RoF conference room, RoF network conference room, or the live channel. Open the file browser and just go ahead and get all these files right here, everything that's in there. Might need it, might not, just grab it all. Go ahead and throw that into a folder of your liking. I just have it here so I can easily grab it. I also have a folder in here called backgrounds, a bunch of different files that I have grabbed from the internet and just thrown in the folder. In this case it's Arma and Daisy pictures, just whatever you think is cool, throw in there. Alright, the other thing you're going to need to do is get a plugin for OBS called CLR Browser Plugin. CLR Browser Source Plugin. I use the 32-bit version of OBS, so I got the 32-bit version right here. You also need to make sure you have these two things installed. Right here, this thing, and then also your .NET framework needs to be up to date. Just go ahead and probably install both of those just to be safe. And then the way this is installed, the actual plugin, it's just a zip file. You can download it. And we'll want to get into the folder where OBS is and get into the plugins folder. Let's open up this. And here's this zip file. Inside it we have a DLL and a folder. Those just get thrown directly into the plugins folder. That is how you install it. So here I have my CLR host plugin and CLR host plugin folder. Boom, you restart OBS, and if you have those other things installed properly, your .NET framework and this one right here, you should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get back here and start building. We have our new main. First thing we're going to do is create some global sources. I've got a bunch here because I recreated this a few times just trying to figure this all out. Let's go ahead and add our CLR browser plugin. This is going to be for our new followers. Alert. And right here, this is the URL. You can find that URL in our OBS files in this new follow link.txt that's in the TeamSpeak file there. Grab this link, copy, remember this, 580 by 110. Go ahead and paste this in here. And on the end of this, I'm going to go ahead and hit put and preview equals true. No, not minus true, equals true. Preview equals true, 580, 110. And hit OK. And then the next thing we're going to do is add a global source, an image slideshow. I'm just going to call this BG5. I've got too many of them there. Add, and we're going to go in that backgrounds folder. We're just going to add, I could add them all if I wanted, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to add, 4 of them here real quick. Okay, great. BG5 created. All right. Let's go ahead and start adding stuff to our new main screen. Add a global source, BG5, that's the one we just made, and hit OK. Now, we're working with the preview stream on, that way we can see what's going on, and you'll want to click Edit Scene, and then you can see here that this is much bigger than our workspace. That's fine. Just come up here in this left corner and just click and drag it down until it's within it. We're going to snap it up in the corner. These images I've selected are 16 by 9. My workspace is 16 by 9. It snaps right in. great. Alright, we're going to add an image. And this one's going to be our overlay file. In this case, I'm using RoF TV 2.1.0 underscore 4K. The 4K is because it's in 4K resolution. And, you know, we got this big red frame with nothing in it, right? That's because it's a huge file. So, click and drag it down. And drag it down. And drag it down. Oh, there we go. So, snap it up in the corner. Snap down the other corner. Once again, my frame here is 1280 by 720. This is like 3000 or 4000 by whatever, but they're both 16 by 9, so they snap in nicely. Alright, let's go ahead and add our game source. Game capture. And find my ARMA. There we go. I've got ARMA going already, and it's in no pause, so you can still animating away. Oh, well, it's over my overlay. That's fine. Down here in sources, hold your control key and then use your arrows up and down to move the order of things here in the list. So the background will be at the very bottom, and then the second will probably be the game capture, and then our overlay image here. Alright, let's add some text in these fields. Add text. Make it bold, bottled. Boom, drag it in. Just throw that one in there real quick. And add another text field. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more to it. Let's see. Up next is funny. Put some spaces here at the end. This is going to be scrolling text, so I want there to be some space between the end of this and the beginning of this. Hit my scroll speed at about 60, and then just hit OK. Alright, yeah, see, obviously this isn't going to fit in, but there's, let me make this bold real quick too. Bold, there we go. But there are lots of little cool tricks we can do, clicking options. If you just click on these corners and you drag, it's going to scale directly. You know, match X, Y, so they, you know, it scales, obviously. If you click out, it will crop. So anyways, we'll get into that. First thing I'm going to do is just use a normal click, and I'm going to get the height to where I want the text to be. Alright, yeah, that height looks about right. I'll get this over here, and I'm going to do my out click on this side over here, and I'm going to crop this over. See, it shows up green when I'm doing the crop, and it doesn't distort the text because I'm just cropping the side off. Boom. There we go. Got some nice scrolling text, no funky settings. It's real easy to set up just using that out click to crop off the side there, and shift to get the height correct for what you want. Okay, next up we are going to add our chat box. And so we're going to add an image source. The chat can be kind of funky to get to line up correctly. That's why the chat box is a separate file, so that we can manipulate it separate from the main overlay boxes. So just get this into space here. Once again, clicking and dragging it scales it. If I hold shift, I can free transform. Out, I can crop, you know, on whatever edges I want to. We're not going to crop this. Let's see, get this right over here. This is just rough right now. Something rough, probably around, somewhere around that size. Alright, now next thing we're going to do is we're going to need to get a chat window in here and get an overlay on it and stuff like that. So in order to get our chat, let's go over here to our good buddy Silent Sentry, my good buddy at least. I have better Twitch TV set up here. It helps out a lot. It looks great. I'm going to go ahead and pop the chat out. Minimize that, don't need it anymore. And the height, you know, decent height doesn't matter, but the width is kind of what you're playing with here. You want to get the width right. You'll just have to play with it a little bit. So anyways, something like this. You can see my other one over here left, what we'll actually be working off of. You can leave the chat like this. You're just going to have to scale it up more to make it readable, or you can come in here and you go black chroma key, turn the setting off there. What is it called? Unblacken, black chat chroma key. And so anyways, we got this one set up right here. This is the one I'm using currently. So go ahead and add a window capture, and we're going to do the inner window, and it's this Twitch window right here from Chrome. We don't need to capture the mouse. All this is fine. We will adjust the color key in a minute. There we go. Alright, so this is where the shift and out and all that different clicking is going to come into play. First thing I'm going to do is out click the bottom and crop it right down to the bottom of the text there. And I'm going to out click on the top and just crop this down just somewhere where I think it might end up. It's not important at this point. Drag this over here. What I want to do is get my width set up right now, really, is what is my width going to be? So no clicking, this is a direct scale. I'm going to just click and bring this down. Well, there's not many talking long lines of text, but there will be at some point. And I'm thinking size-wise, about right there looks good. So we'll bring that up into my box there. The box will need to be made a little bit wider, and I think I can uncrop the top of this with Alt again and bring in a few more lines of chat. Okay, grab our background here, and I'm going to shift click on it, and so that I can scale it around in here, right? Back to our chat, properties, chroma key, select, and then we'll use our little eyedropper here on the black part. Boom, transparent. Ready to go. It almost looks professional. It almost does. Anyways, you can use arrow keys to, you know, fine-tune things in and out. And now we're going to add, last but not least, our global source, our new follower alert. There's a few on there. This is the last one I made. Okay.
The Emperor has been expecting
There you go. It runs off its test first. Since it's a global source, though, it's only going to fire off that one time, and it is still going to listen for the new followers. So as long as you have it as a global source and you add it in there, it's always going to fire off the first time you open up OBS. Or if you want to test it any time during your stream, just go into OBS, right click, properties, and hit OK.
The Emperor has
And
been
it's going to
expecting
fire off
you.
another test, and you can make sure it works properly. So the other reason we want it as a global source, I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this new one that we just created. It served its purpose. Remove. Yes.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
Alright. So now we've got our global source over here. Let's wait for it to go away, and I'm going to fire it off again. So properties, and hit OK.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
It's going across all of my overlays. It's that one source, and so if it were to fire off when I was on my main and I was going to be right back, like, it would follow me over here. I wouldn't lose it. And then also, it's not firing off again if I had the and preview every time I switched to a new channel by having it as a global source. The other thing here is the background image. Let's just pretend that my game crashed here. Oh no, game crashed. Okay, yeah, I got my background image on, so it's not just a black screen for Twitch and chat to look at. But the global source of the background, by doing it, it kind of shows it more. Like, it's one source throughout all these different scenes. It's going to fade between them evenly, and you know, just makes it easier to make one source, and then having to add them all, add each one of those files for however many times you have sources. And then when I was changing here, it would jump between images, because this one might be on a different random image than this one is, so it'd be a really harsh transition. One more thing I forgot to touch into here is these different scenes and switching between them when you're in the game. Obviously you can't click on them. Right click, set hotkey. I usually set them from like number 1 through however many scenes I have, and that way I can just hit control 1 and then I'm there, control 2, there I'm on the main screen, 3 I'll be right back, doing whatever the fuck I want, back to 2, back to 3, back to 2, oh you know what, fuck off, I'm going away. Thanks for watching. You know, people can still read chat and all that good stuff. So anyways, that's about it. Thanks again for watching.